Hello, hello, welcome back. Where did I put you? Oh, sorry, give me a second. I have to pay more attention to my health, just self-care in general, and self-care doesn't necessarily mean turning a blind eye to things that give me temporary indulgence. So now that the Twix bag has, now that I've killed it, I think I have like 1 or 2 mini Twix lingering around, and I was going to buy another bag, but I can't keep using that as a crutch to train myself to doing better. So instead, I'm going to go maybe a little aggro with it. And when I do something good, I shall reward myself with exercise. That's what I'm going to do. That is what I'm going to do. So I'm wearing my old pair of glasses right now because I'm realizing that I need to be, I have to start using my resources accordingly. Like if this gives me an advantage to sight, providing more clarity, why would I like kind of dumb myself down? Not saying that, it's just I have a resource, so I got to start using them for what they are. And so, angels of light and love, I welcome you in to direct and protect these messages, my chakras, my auras, my space, my work, and that of our children's, and that of this most ethical light and love crew. Appreciate you for being here and extending some moral support and then some. So we're going to go with the Paint Chip Poetry deck. This deck has like 100 and something markings here, like 400, 400 paint chip cards. So we're going to ask Spirit, what is it that we should be focusing on? In fact, let's go ahead and do like a bit of necromancy and, call upon our ancestors of light and love, our most ethical crew from beyond the veil. Okay? What is it that we should be focused on? So I also got the Pomo Tarot for a bit of a reality check. Okay? Got me a little scared because they have some pretty rough topics to consider. So, there we are. Okay, I'm told to pull one from here, so variation. What? Before making poems, rotate your palettes 1 position to the left. Oh, these are action cards. Okay, so never mind. All right, so for group 1, set of ancestors, most ethical crew, what is the selection for you? The color is Bramble. Okay, group 1. Group 2. I had another thing in mind for this. Red flag. Holy smokes. Red flag, seriously? I think that's dropped between my legs, too. Fine, Spirit, fine, Spirit, speaking through my most beloved ethical light and love ancestors. Group 3 is Lily of the Valley. Okay. Those are the colors of the Mexican flag. And then group 4 is Apple of my eye. Okay. That's sweet. Okay. Alright, so what should we be focused on at this time? Okay. Let's get some answers. Yeah. So instead of having a summer body, whatever, I'm gonna I took a rain check on that, and I'm doing it for winter, okay? Or fall, whatever. Okay, here, where do we open this? Okay, so for group 1, pile 1. Let's see. Okay. What is our recommended point of focus? What is the most what's the highest recommendation for where our focus should be? Group 1. It's your turn. Okay. Those? Okay. 18, Knight. That is Moon in reverse. Mr. Religion, the Hierophant in reverse. 7, Wheels, which is the Chariot. And Just Desserts 8, which is Strength. I'm sorry. That's funny. Justice. Let us see. Let us see. So there's something that got us teetering as far as we know what contributes to our pleasure, like what brings us happiness, not just the feel goods. But then the other thing that's teetering on the scale is like not the what ifs, but like other possibilities that are just not foreseen yet, like how to materialize a balance with the things that we know that makes us happy. So this is what Justice has, like tinkering. She doesn't have a death grip on it. She's just kind of like holding like a thread, okay? It's manageable, this weight, okay? But she's also blindfolded, which is oftentimes what Justice has it as. And it's reminiscent here as like, because her hands are kind of consumed, that it's kind of like the Eight of Swords, where you're stuck in this moment of transition of like a full-on layout. So talking about laying out, we're also talking about a gun on the other hand, knowing that there's hostilities and the need to defend yourself. So how do we defend ourselves? More of like a passive attempt in when it comes to others, and being more direct with ourselves, or passive with ourselves and just shooting at the problem, like knocking it down. Yeah, so that's what it looks like here, okay? Now the wheels, or the, like, what do you call it? It looks like heavy artillery, okay? A chariot that's moving forward towards there. But the prefix was the Knight card in reverse, so that's this is like new moon, so this is our intentions, and in an untraditional way about ongoing, on approaching things. So instead of like, there's something about not having to defend yourself, like what do you call it? The mentality surrounding whatever it is regarding justice to be had. Our response, the highest suggestion here, is not to retaliate with responses triggered by other parties that would have us in our defenses, okay? Because a lot of the times, if people who are not involved in just like hearing both sides of the story, it's you actually exhibit more strength in not succumbing to the, like, your own weaknesses in allowing somebody to use you as a punching bag. So it's almost like that punching bag where you hit it and then it falls back then and pops back up. kind of a like a knee-jerk reaction, a reflex almost. So they're saying in that dynamic, it's a knee-jerk reaction, whereas the non-traditional way and doing, like, going about things and approaching this area of justice, those pursuits, we're working on our reflexes. So knowing that we're responsible for this kind of balance, even when there's questions that remain. And it's important not to lose sight of what brings us, like, happiness and pleasure, what contributes to that. But at the same time, it's kind of like allowing things to work its way through. Like, how do I say it? We don't need to be a doormat, but we don't need to be a punching bag. At the same time, there's no need to retaliate. How do I say this? So, in that, there's a realm of being able to speak the truth with clarity, yet also without without feeling offended that someone is coming off on the wrong foot with you. Okay? And so it's not to take those advances as a personal offense. Because you know that deep down inside, when, like, certain trials are over with, that's what their take home is. And that's how it generated, you know, all of that, like, craze is not generated. How do I say it? It takes a lot of energy over time. Some added stressors if it's coming just from one party. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, when you realize that, you know that they are definitely more trouble than you are. So when you realize in all realms that belongs to them, then there's no disputing on whose burden that is. So there's no need to be defensive over something, over somebody who's, you know, angry or hostile or callous or foul, or condescending, you know, if we're looking at a representative party, representative figures. So we're going about things a little untraditionally, because we're not looking at the human condition as something that we're falling prey to, but something that we can further develop, okay? And that can only be done by understanding our intentions with clarity. And with that, we have to take a good look at ourselves as we're kind of pulling back from a lot of interactions for some self-study. Yeah. So there's a lot of self-care involved. And for group 1, when we're, like, talking about, like, Bramble, we're talking about turning a new leaf, or several. One is representative of many others. Like, when you look under the leaf of a fern, there's spores underneath it, and those are basically I'm hearing emanations of new life. You know, they're predictors or a foreboding of further growth. So even when you look at a fern's leaf, you're looking at all of the other, like, one leaf carries many keys to it, basically. And within each key are many spores. So that's where our focus should be, on self-care, and trusting that it will open up doors and answer questions for us as we proceed ahead, that we can have ultimate trust in moving forward. And even if there are low blows, or if there are any attempts to come at us incorrectly, to know that we have the higher hand in not being triggered. And also, with not being triggered, it could also mean being like a deer, like stuck in, like, what do you call it? A deer like stuck with in headlights. Yeah, that's what we're looking at there. Okay, because that's what I felt like for the past, I don't know, few weeks or months, like this whole dissolution process. So, thus far, man, I'm just barely starting to pick up the pace again and gaining confidence in myself to be able to read the verbiage and understand it, and not get intimidated by attorneys who turn the other cheek just so they can make an amplified buck. And I don't envy them. Like, if I looked at their bank accounts, I don't envy them. Like, I got where I am based on, like, I just feel like I'm a lot further along in the process of my soul's growth and development, that there are so much more rewards that are ahead of me and due for me. And so I don't have to scheme or plot of ways in which to earn a buck. I don't have to destroy families and their homes in order to make that happen for myself. Like, to understand that there are so many attorneys out there and people within the legal system that are so willing to become home wreckers, like, it just doesn't make sense. So anyway, I'm glad I wrote those drafted affirmations in the previous, but this is something that I'm just thinking out loud. Okay, so anyway, that's where our focus should be. Okay, group 1, thank you, ancestors. Okay, now group 2, the red flag. Obviously, red flags can be something, they're reminders, notifications, but they can also be warnings or caution signs. Okay, so what do we get from there? Group 2, red flag. Ancestors of light and love, the most ethical of group 2. I said this one. Gunmen in reverse. King of Swords in reverse. So, there's a masculine in our lives, if it's not you, that it could be like female that has very masculine, like, personality traits. It's like I'm getting narcissistic, okay? Because it's like somebody trying to fake their own death here, like trying to bluff. There's something about mind control in that aspect, because it reminded me of a time, like, I forget about these things, but it reminded me of the time when, before I got married to now my soon-to-be ex, or he's an ex, I guess, now. I mean, he would pretend he would call me with suicidal, like bluffs, like, and when like fights would go crazy, there was this one time where he threatened to just walk in front of traffic, like on like the main street where it's like 50 miles an hour at minimum, and like it's just crazy how desperate people are to get attention and like get the most energy like siphoned out of you. Like, how much do you really care? In fact, that's how I ended up. Dude, I don't need to talk about my full-on life experience here, but that gives you a gist of what that was like. And I thought that after, dude, I thought that things had changed, and I just maybe needed more life experience. That so anyway, I'm here now, and we're looking at that. We're looking at people who post threats in order to kind of get their way. And dude, I don't even know. Okay. So what else you want to say? Okay, that one too. Money Girl in reverse. So that's the Page of Pentacles in reverse. There's cats. There's a cat or a monkey and a dog here. Interesting. She's walking a monkey and a dog. So Money Girl. Okay. Page of Pentacles in reverse. So they're also saying this is like, don't invest even like one or even a half or even a further fraction of a shit to any of this, okay? Any ounce or like not even like a micro whatever, not a single microgreen, whatever, to any of this, because all of it is just like the same patternings as before. Anything else on that red flag here? Ancestors of Light and Love for group 2. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this felt like kind of in my yogurt cup. Okay, so we have Mona and the Ace of Cups here. Okay, it felt like kind of upright in the empty yogurt cup, but then it felt like kind of accentuated outside of it. So they're saying, Tina, just celebrate the fact that you know. You know. You're a classic know-how. You classic beauty and clarity. So much so that you're celebrated. You're popping bottles. And it's like there's no ceilings here. It's yeah. So the red flag here is also that people are, like when we're talking about notifications, a lot of people are taking notice of me. Not just a lot of people, but high value people. Not saying that there's lower value, but like when I say high value people, I'm talking about like people that truly value themselves. So they've got more than their finances together, okay? They've got more than the prioritization of that. So even if they're working on their finances or whatever, they're still, because like shit happens to just practically anybody at any time. But at the same time, it's like the Mona Lisa is already of like very, very high value. In fact, that was one of the cards that came through for me on the Go Fish art. It was very personal. Like, so it's kind of weird to see that we didn't use these cards just too long ago. The Go Fish for art. And this is one of like the closing ones that showed itself to me. before going to bed. So this is the High Priestess, and that's very interesting because it fell at my feet. So any more before I go on to the next one, this one, or the next two? Okay, Money Man and Bottle Mana. So this is the King of Pentacles and the King of Cups. So now that the King of Swords is kind of out of the picture, because we realize what his agenda is, there's this person now in what? In competition with the King of Cups. It's what? That's crazy. Or it could be that the King of Pentacles is, dude, no, I don't know, man. I really think it's the first part of it. What? Yeah. We were talking about high value people. Wow. Okay. All right. So the next one is, thank you, ancestors. That's group 2. Thank you. Mine. Okay. Lily of the Valley for group 3. What are things that we should focus on at this time? Like, I don't even know if that's supposed to be something that I should be focused on, but I think it's just further proof that, considering myself as the Mona Lisa, as, you know, the High Priestess, the Mona Lisa of High Priestesses, that I'm just very well celebrated. So it's just kind of cementing that here, giving me proof of it, at a variety of king statuses. Like, we have a trifold of kings here already. So, okay, Lily of the Valley, group 3. What should we be focused on at this time? 4 of Bills. I'm seeing a masquerade, some bidding. This is... taking ownership, I feel like. Knowing that there's something there that's, I don't even know how to describe at this time. Clarifier for that, okay? Okay. 6 TVs. 6 of Pentacles in reverse. Is it Pentacles? TVs. TVs are Wands. 6 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, the people are... I wanted to say it because, like, we're talking about dollar value and all of that, and everything's escalating. But it's saying that people are very, like, willing to, like, they're ready to pay whatever it is for, like, our services. Like, yeah, there's bidding on it, and there's a lot of people. I mean, we see 3 people here, but one of them is two-faced, kind of. You see the mask, kind of Phantom of the Opera. But there's victory in the coming. So just know that you're set up for success, Tina. Like, don't even get too riled up. Don't get stressed about how to, like, make this question mark happen in group 1. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen, Tina. It's gonna happen for sure. Whether, and, like, part of me feels like when I apply to office jobs or other retail jobs or fast food jobs, even if it's like, oh, don't go back there or whatever, messages change over time because people are following me way too closely, energetically and spiritually and all of that. So I can do whatever it is that I want in moving. However, when I'm given clear messages to like get out of there or whatever, or make certain motions, then I follow through with it. But yeah, I don't think obtaining an office job or this and that is going to restrict me. Like, I've done too many good things in order, like, where does it say in the books that I can't try to make a living with my essentials met, so that I can focus, like, haul in my energies to what I'm doing here. Like, I'm a very resilient person. So even though I don't have to worry, like, how do I say it? I don't think what I'm doing right now and keeping my part-time job or applying to office jobs or this and that is me selling out. I don't think that it's increasing the worry value, but more so like just kind of patching up anything that, patching up the boat so it'll carry me further. Yeah. Okay, I'll get one more out of there. Actually, two. 2 of Wands in reverse and 4 of Wands in reverse. So again, we have 6 of Wands total here, just kind of invested in different ways. So it's making plans, but also forming roots. Like, yeah, definitely. So that's what we should be focused on. Again, this draws back to pile 1 as well, because it's taking a look at yourself here. Just as that reference was on pile 1. Okay. That's very nice. Thank you, group 3's ancestors. Okay. Okay, group 4, apple of my eye. What is our focus? What should be what's the highest recommendation for our focus? Group 4, apple of my eye. Okay. 3 of Cups, inverted. This is, there's something about, like, being cared for by, there's some kind of, like, homosexuality here, but it's not sexual here. It's implied, as, but it's like, somebody has our back that, is, like, kind of part of the LGBT community. And they may party with us, they might celebrate with us energetically, celebrate our wins, but they also take care of us when we need some sobering up, when we need some cleaning up and detoxification, when we need to, like, kind of wake up. You see? That's personal care and attention. Oh, the apple of my eye, for sure. Definitely. That's so sweet. I like that. Okay. Is there anything else, ancestors, of group 4, most ethical ancestors, light and love, for the point of focus on group 4? So just knowing that, regardless of how it looks on the outskirts or, the topical version of aesthetics, whether that's digital or first-hand account tangible, we do have a support crew, for sure. Okay. Oh, 3 of bills. Okay, so this is, yeah, these are people that work with us. I don't know. I do all different kinds of work, so I don't know exactly who this pertains to, but we have master number 33 here. And all hung up. Okay. Oh, they can't say. I'm not even supposed to say. They're all tangled up here. It's the hanged man. Who has to, like, kind of stand apart a little bit. That's so weird to me. 3 of Pentacles. Yeah. So we have people who are definitely fond of us. Even when taking care of us may be a little bit of a bitch. That's funny. Okay. So, just to realize that, so as not to take advantage of it. Okay, like not to, to appreciate it. Show appreciation. Okay, and then final one, temperance in reverse. Neither here nor there, but right on the money. Okay, so we're working towards that. And again, it's about sobering up for whatever that means for you. Like, I have not drinking alcohol in, like, the longest time, like, at least a year. Like, and even a year ago, it was, like, something for work, like a work social event, and I had 2 glasses of wine, and that was it within a few hours. So that was it. Then, like, nothing else, like, and even a longer span than that before that. So, and like, so for me, it's my Twix and certain, like that, okay? All right, I think that's it for now. Okay, so bottom of the deck is Mom. It's the Empress. That's honey. That's so sweet. Okay, thank you. Oh, yes, and thank you, Group 4, for ancestors, for your input on that. Okay, top of the deck is TV Boy. So, Page of Wands in reverse. Or is the boy, Knight of Wands in reverse? Player, what? Money Boy. Knight of Pentacles amidst it, and then it opened up to another one. Disaster. It's the Tower card in reverse. So there's cleanup, and there's different kind of players here. Wait, no. Knight of Pentacles is taking your time with cleaning up some things. So, Knight of Wands in reverse is player energy that is highly non-committal. So, in taking our time with the cleanup, why is there, like, non-committal energy when it comes to the Tower? 8 of Cups in reverse. Oh, just know that it's a dual growing process, because this is like our comeback. This is coming back to reality after, like, we've had enough. Like, we had, like, our personal peacekeeping, our meditation practices. We know better, etc. And we're just going through the comeback. So, it's alleviating the tension of doing the cleanup that takes some time, and clean slating. And so, as far as non-committal, like, not to get too weighed down, again with a barbell, not to get too weighed down by how it looks, like what that projects, the weight that it projects on the cleanup. Because for me, I thought, like, months and months ago that I got, February, when he had we had the official, like, completely moved out stuff. Was it February or April? I don't even remember. I have to jot that down. But, like, just less than, like, a couple weeks ago, I noticed that the medicine cabinet still has a bunch of his stuff. And because he was responsible for cleaning that out. Like, I did so much of the packing for him, and cleaning off of stuff, because I knew that he would be very careless with all of, like, the things that got contaminated with rat shit and this and that. That if the kids were going to be over there, that I would worry less about, like, infestation or allergies or in, like, you know, a lot of things, you know, that were very unsanitary. So I did a lot of the cleaning up and packing for him. And it was also meditative for me. Like, I bear no grudge. I bear no grudge. And I bear witness to my experience of letting go with good spirit. And so it was just startling for me to see all of his stuff still there and in his main drawer. So I have to, like, box that up and haul it out. And so just back to that Tower card of not letting it bear so much weight on yourself, because I'm the fucking Empress, you know. All right, that is it. And just to close this off, we're going to go with the Bananagrams. Okay. Okay, what similarities do we have? All four. Okay, one fell out of there, so I'll get that too, which is what? Z. Okay. And what? E and Q. It's emotional intelligence, kind of like on different levels, and Z on our sleeping side. So yeah, when we're in slumbers, in our dream state, the thing that each pile has in common is that in sleep mode, and also, like, electronically on sleep mode, when you're just, like, kind of tuned out of it, that our emotional intelligence is rising. It's like it's on different levels. There's so much more of a contrast to understanding the development of it. Like, there's different facets. Like, it's not just emotional intelligence as one lump sum. It's in different areas that we're learning. So that's excellent. Okay. ITHSJ. Something about hook, line, and sinker, but, like, shit. Something like, it's like somebody got found out. I don't know why. What? Okay. U-O-A. I see joust as well. Yeah, definitely. So then, like, there's the King of Pentacles. Like, there's those kings, like, ready to joust. I don't understand. Anyway, ESSTNNOEEEAIN. Ion. No one. House. Houses. Stone. Autos. No, I see Trojan, but without the R. Nina. I'm seeing Nayan, but I've never heard of such a name, so I don't know. Shane. Stan. Tina. Anita. Tisha. I haven't seen Tisha on here. Tosi. I know that's somebody's last name. Okay. Thanos. Thanatos. I feel like that's something that is definitely... I guess I feel like I have to read it. Oh, okay. Thanatos is a reference within the Wild Unknown Archetypes cards. So I feel like I have to read it. I have to revisit it and also link it to at least the most recent reading of when it was last referenced, if I can find that. So Thanatos is on one of the initiate cards on the very last part of it, I believe. Yeah, Thanatos. Okay, death. What? For real. Web. 3 hands. Centered. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as transformation, but the true archetypal reason of Thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent, an eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the end of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. Gosh, this is very much all in link. Holy smokes. It leaves a mark of ash upon our hearts, signifying that we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually, with more compassion and wisdom to share. This capacity is needed in our world. One who has faced the annihilation of Thanatos can face anything. When this card appears, it signifies an initiation to the underworld. Not just to the underworld, but into the underworld. When light, grieving, mourning, bearing witness to all that is. And then when dark, fear or insensitivity to old age, illness, and the dying. Facing Thanatos, aka death, leads us to Aletheia, truth. There are those with a great gift for navigating Thanatos energy. Thankfully, we find these generous souls in emergency rooms, hospitals, hospice centers, and the like. That's so interesting because, we called upon our ancestors, and, on the sounding board, they are, they're basically in congregation and in agreement to, deliver this kind of a message. So, very interesting. I also see thanks, but there's no K here. Thanatos. Interesting. I also see June, so that could be somebody's name or a month of significance. I'm also seeing quintessentials here. Definitely. But I keep seeing that, like, in the past, this is like the third reference that I've had to it. Like, I was going to name something within a, certain, like, chapter, or, it just came up, like, this is the third time. But, I'd have to, ESSEN. I don't have an L. So, I also have squint. So again, important that if you are meant to be wearing glasses to use them. Like, it's also saying that if you have resources to see, like, not to get paranoid or overindulge in certain things like that, but There's something about, like, not having to strain your vision, because there are other sources that will be able to provide clarity. Yeah, okay. And a lot of that is also deriving it from inner resources. Ooh, I see Jones. Like, Dr. Jones. And I'm hearing doctor. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm hearing Mrs. Jones. Is that a song? Yeah, I think so. Anyway, there's so many E's here. I see Zen. Size also. Quiz. Yeah, there's 3 places I can put Zen, and it's on each of the words, so I'm going to put it on Thanatos, which was my first inclination, but Zen threefold is what we're looking at here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, squint to see. There's something about, let me see here. Seat, sight, something about death, like a grave site. Sight, yeah, there's something about that. Like a place of, the place of death is also the place of rest. That's what they're saying. So sometimes it's really hard to see things for what they are. That's what they're showing me here. So this is what all 4 piles have in common here. Okay, let me just put this kind of all together here. Very interesting. All right, I think that's it for right now. So now that this reading is officially over, I thank all my sponsors and supporters. All donations provided in light and love are received and employed accordingly, if not amplified. But now that this reading is officially over, upon closing all portals, I send all energies back to their appropriate locations outside of mine with their appropriate karmas due, assisting with that rollout. The sequence of rollout. In light and love. And close all portals. Now.